We broke the news at WTOL 11 News at 5 yesterday about the verdict in the dee-warner murder trial. We've told you a jury found him guilty of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence in the death of his wife, Dee-Warner. Our Mel Andrews covered the trial, did a great job from the very beginning, and joins us now with more on the trial. You talked with a juror today. Did you get any insights on what they were thinking? I was a little surprised it took 8 hours, over 2 days, to come to that decision.
Well, it was really interesting because in the media area, the gallery, we all were kind of wondering, well, who's going to be picked as the foreman? And we all agreed it was going to be the high school football coach, because what better personality to take charge and unite people and get us to the goal. So I tracked him down today, just talked to him on the phone a bit ago. We had a great conversation. He is someone that I think that we would all want to be a juror if we were ever caught up in a situation. He was very much adamant that they wanted to follow the Constitution. All the jurors got along very well. They felt that they better make sure that they got it right and that they followed the Constitution. So they weren't all on the same page originally, but they at least had a basis for where they wanted to go with it. Like, let's be fair about this.
So that as a group, they were going through the whole particulars of it, or was there one or two holdouts?
Well, remember that they only deliberated for about an hour on Thursday when they got the case. Yeah. You have to elect the foreman, and then they took an initial poll, and he told me that initially it was 8-4, guilty, not guilty. But he said it wasn't the kind of not guilty where it's like, absolutely, Dee-Warner didn't do this. It was just people that felt that they needed a little bit more information. They had some doubts, and they wanted to go through that evidence and clear up those doubts.
I thought when we talked last week, I thought it's an open and shut case. But then when you came on last week, we talked right here in the 4 o'clock, and you laid out what, by Michigan definition, first-degree murder is, what requirements there are, and second-degree. Then it made it come into a little more clarity that, like, the first-degree murder takes some real proving to justify premeditation there, and they settled on a crime of passion, basically, that, okay, he did kill her, and it was second degree.
And that's exactly what I asked him. I said, how did you arrive to second degree versus first degree? And they said, well, they didn't really even spend too much time on the tampering because they felt that he had done this. So if you committed the murder, then you did the tampering, right? He said that they felt that Dee-Warner did not know that his underage daughter was not going to be home that night, that it was kind of a surprise that that arrangement had been made by Dee and her friends. So they factored that into possibly being a case of passion or a last-minute thing that he came up with. Also, he said that they felt that something happened that made Dale snap, because remember, the testimony was that Dee had said that she wanted a divorce many times. That wouldn't be a surprise to him, right? But then the prosecution wanted you to hone in on the fact that Dee wanted to sell these businesses, and that's what really, set him off. But these jurors really felt that it was a snap decision. It was a crime of passion, a very emotional crime. And then they also said it was never really made clear, and it seemed that the medical examiner couldn't really say for certain whether Dee was strangled to death or died of the blunt force trauma. So when you're strangling someone, you're throttling them for several minutes, and that gives you time to stop and think about what you're doing. They said we really couldn't say for certain whether she was strangled or that she died of the blunt force trauma.
We have less than a minute left. Sentencing is May 7th, correct? And they've already said we're going to appeal. What's going to happen coming down the road?
So the sentencing is May 7th. There will be a chance for the victims, the family members, all of Dee's children to get up there and give their impact statements. That will be factored into the judge's decision. And what I've seen, having witnessed several of these now in Michigan, these sentencing, it's almost like a mathematical equation. There are a number of factors that go into it. So he'll be sentenced on the second-degree murder, so he will have a chance for parole, but it could be decades. And then
he's 57.
And then he'll have additional time for the tampering. Now, an appeal, some people get their arms up about an appeal, but an appeal is almost a certainty in a case like this.
Oh, Mel, we certainly enjoyed your coverage, and well done.